How was Italy unified? 1850 to 1870. At the end of the revolution of 1848-49, the Italian people had failed to achieve unification. However, they accepted and recognized the leadership of the strong Italian kingdom of Piedmont and Sardinia. The Italians realized that this kingdom had managed to keep its freedom and was the only independent Italian area ruled by a native dynasty. It enjoyed a unique position in Italy. In 1849, a new parliament was elected in Sardinia, and the most important member of this parliament was Count Cavour, who was appointed as minister by the new king Victor Emmanuel II in 1850. Under Cavour, Sardinia became economically strong. It had hard-working farmers, an influential middle class, and a well-trained army. The basic foundations were there for this kingdom to take the leadership in the struggle for Italian freedom and unification. It was clear to most Italian people, including Cavour, that there were two more lessons to be taken from the defeat of 1848-49. Number one, that neither the church nor the republicans could unite Italy. Only a constitutional monarchy under the leadership of Sardinia could work. Number two, the Italian people did not have enough resources or organization to get unification by themselves. They needed cooperation from some bigger powers to drive out the Austrians from the north. Only Count Cavour had the ideas to enable this unification by using his intelligence and political skills. His life's purpose was to free Italy from foreign influence and to give the Italian people a constitutional monarchy, a form of government. He didn't make passionate speeches like Mazzini, nor did he lead heroic battles like Garibaldi. His main talent was to understand the realities and to take advantage of the political situation to achieve the desired ends. To achieve his purposes, Cavour took the following steps. Number one, first of all, it was important to make Sardinia economically strong and a popular state in Italy and in Europe. It was necessary to make Sardinia even stronger in industry, agriculture, trade, and commerce, finance, and to have a strong parliament and law and order, and also to have a wise foreign policy. Cavour maintained a diplomatic and clever attitude towards Austria, but at the same time he worked hard to improve the relationship of his kingdom with France and Britain. His first clever step was to join Britain and France as an ally in the Crimean War of 1854-1855 against Russia. Sardinia had no disagreement with Russia. It was just a good diplomatic step to provide some army and other military resources to France and Britain in return for developing extra strong relations with these powers. The Crimean War soon ended in 1855, and after the war there was a peace conference in Paris, and from Italy Sardinia was also invited to that conference. Cavour was able to impress the British and French diplomats with his intelligence and further improve relations with these powerful countries. He also had the opportunity to meet the French ruler Napoleon III and develop personal contacts with him. Napoleon III agreed with many of the ideas of Cavour, and 3 years later in 1858, Napoleon met Cavour again for a secret meeting at Plombières, where they signed a pact or compact called the Compact of Plombières, and they agreed upon some points. That A, if Italy was to fight against Austria, then a French army of 200,000 would come to help the Sardinians to free Italy. B, in return for the help, the French would receive as a reward the areas or cities of Nice and Savoy. Cavour did not like the idea of giving the areas of Savoy to France, but he was a practical person. He realized that the French would not help Sardinia without a reward, and Cavour also realized that Napoleon III wanted to replace Austrian influence with French influence, and he made sure that Napoleon could not get any support from other parties' forces in Italy. In April 1859, through a clever policy, Cavour deliberately angered the Austrian government, enforcing them to declare a war against the Kingdom of Sardinia. Napoleon III was therefore made to fulfill his promise and send an army to help. And this army joined the army of Sardinia in defeating Austria in two very ferocious battles at Magenta and Solferino, in which many thousands of soldiers were killed on all sides. And the French King Napoleon III became frightened and decided to stop fighting and to make a separate peace treaty with Austria. By this, Austria managed to keep the province of Venetia, while France got the areas of Nice and Savoy from Sardinia, and Sardinia took over Lombardy, Tuscany, Parma, and Modena. And thereafter a new peace treaty was signed between all these three countries at Turin in 1860. Meanwhile, many areas of Romagna, including the Papal States, declared that they also wanted to join Sardinia, and Count Cavour secretly encouraged the people of these areas, the Romagna, to rise up against the Pope and join the Kingdom of Sardinia. He secretly also incited Garibaldi to attack the center and south of Italy. Garibaldi did not like or trust Cavour, but he felt the time was right to attack these places. So on 5th May 1860, with his 1,000 red shirts, he attacked Sicily, and by September 1860, Garibaldi had conquered Sicily and crossed to the mainland to attack the city of Naples, and the King Francis of Naples ran away to save himself. It seemed at this point that Garibaldi might march from Naples to attack Rome, but the French and the Austrians asked Cavour to stop Garibaldi and take over Sicily and Naples directly under the rule of King Victor Emmanuel of Sardinia, which was done, and Naples and Sicily thus also became parts of the Italian Sardinian kingdom, and Garibaldi was told to stop and wait. By the end of 1860, King Victor Emmanuel of Sardinia controlled most of Italy, including two regions of Romagna, and now only Rome and central Italy left under the Pope. By March 1861, King of Sardinia was declared as the King of United Italy, although the kingdom still remained incomplete. Cavour believed that by and large, quote, Italy is made, unquote, that the country was nearly all complete and nearly all united, and in a few years' time it would all become one. However, after all these years of struggle and hard work, Cavour himself was quite sick and he died in June 1861. His rule and his importance in Italy and Italian unification can never be forgotten. After him, the movement for Italian unification continued. Twice Garibaldi tried to attack Rome to remove the Pope, but he could not achieve the goal. In 1870, however, France had to fight a war against Prussia and could no longer pay attention to the problems of the Pope in Rome or in Italy. And on 20th September 1870, the Italian troops marched into Rome. The Pope was sent into the Vatican City, and Rome became the new capital of the United Italian Kingdom. Cavour's great project had finally been completed 9 years after his death. Thank you.